Welcome to highlights of the Shanghai Diamond League. Well, it might be early in the athletics season, but the series got off to a flying start last week in Doha.
It's a great performance by Elliot Doyle. Super run. Omar McLeod, he's absolutely flying.
Crowder on the beat. The big victory, a big win.
He's a bit of a showman, isn't he? Campbell gets it, skippers in second.
What a response, out to it, beyond 15 metres.
Look at that, Webb's a powerhouse, isn't he? Oh yes, that is big time.
Merritt looking good, striding through. Merritt gets the win.
Shanghai is the largest city that hosts a Diamond League meeting, with its population estimated to be over 24 million. Well known for its towering skyscrapers, it's the financial and commercial hub of China. Your commentators today at the Shanghai Stadium are Steve Cram and Stuart Story.
Well, there you've got the start for the first race, the men's 400-metre hurdles. Dobek, Capello, Clement, Gibson, Bett, Tinsley, Coulson, Zill and Tamuti. The surprise champion in Beijing last year, Nicholas Bett, the first man to break 48 seconds for 2 seasons, and he did it in the World Championship final. Well, they're really not much in it as they approach the first hurdle. It's pretty even indeed. Tinsley's going well, but Coulson has always gone up very quickly in the outside lane. Gibson seems to be going well, so is Clement, and also Capello of Turkey on the inside going quite nicely. But certainly Bett going very strongly now. And we really got to see some action from Bett. He's a top-class competitor when it comes to the championships. Coulson leading, Tinsley in second place. Bett coming strongly now from the 5th lane as they come into this straight now. Look at the inside, Capello of Turkey. He's had a very good 300 metres. Can he hold on to this? And look at Dobek of Poland on the inside. Tinsley coming through very strongly, and he could well take this. Tinsley's going to get this, and Dobek on the inside gets second place, 48.91. Tinsley's back in form, 48.91. It was a very, very good competitive race, and Capello and Dobek, right on those tight inside lanes, really gave those with the higher credentials a real fright.
At this point, any one of 4 or 5, you wouldn't have put Dobek in with a chance of winning, perhaps. Capello in the orange vest of Turkey. Bett, unusually for him, he's normally so strong over the last 2 flights of hurdles, going backwards, particularly off the last one. Tinsley, always strong in the home straight, coming through. Van Zyl finishing quickly as well. A disappointment for the world champion, but the Olympic silver medalist, really strong. Look at him here. He attacked that last hurdle and then came off it better than anybody. Dobek, the under-23, European under-23 champion, really finishing strongly as well in lane 1. But it's Tinsley who gets the honours.
Well, there it is, Tinsley, 48.90, at season's best, of course, this being the first of the big races. Dobek, good run, 49.01, and Jeffrey Gibson, 49.11 in third.
Coming up, world silver medalist Justin Gatlin goes in the men's 100 metres. In the pole vault, Renaud Lavillenie takes on the man who beat him to World Championship gold last summer, Sean Barber. David Rudisha returns to China 9 months after he added World Championship gold to his Olympic title. Shawnee Miller races Sharika Jackson in the women's 400 metres. They were silver and bronze medalists in last year's World Championships. 2013 world champion Bohdan Bondarenko takes on local hero Zhang Guwei in the high jump.
The women's long jump on the far side of this stadium. Spanovic. And it was a very, very good opener indeed, and that's certainly going to put the pressure on the rest of the field, that's for sure. Remember, it's only the first 4 that go through to the last 3 rounds of the field events in this Diamond League. There it is, 6.95, a meeting record, and what a way to start the competition. The high jump bar at 2.28 for Bondarenko, and that looked easy. Still got the tracksuit on. This is a man who in 2014 cleared 2.42, just 3 centimeters off the world record. The world champion in 2013 starts the competition and starts it well. He really does. Looks good so far.
Here he is then, Zhang finally ready to go. 2.28, first attempt. Ah, that's more like it. Zhang dancing, if that's what you call it. There's a bit of aggression in the last performance, but looking a bit happier this time. The crowd warming to this, so is he. I was saying Kawasaki last week took 3 attempts to get over 2:33, which is the best in the world so far. Conditions apparently weren't quite as benign as they are tonight. Well, on the far side of the track, the women lining up for the 1500 meters. Very good field we've got here. No Ganzebi Dibaba. Sifan Hassan is struggling with an injury early season as well. So the way left open here for Faith Kipyegon, the silver medalist at the World Championships, taking on former world champion Jenny Simpson and the two very good young Ethiopians, Sayom and Sige. Really good racing prospect. That's the pacemaker, Tvedestup, who's been asked to go through in around 2:07 through 800 meters, which is pretty swift. Early season. Kipyegon says she's in great shape and ready to go. There's Jenny Simpson, won 1500 so far this year back in the States at the Drake Relays. Fast last lap on that occasion. By all accounts, looked very good. Has that great track pace, Kipyegon, and so here we go, the women's 1500. Will she follow this pace that's been asked for? Will Jenny Simpson be able to go with it? Pretty sure she will. Who will prevail at the end? Simpson, of course, with such good speed at the end. The American has said this year it's about time. She's done well at the World Championships, the Americans have, but at the Olympic Games in this event, she wants to make sure the American flag is being flown when the medals are handed out in Rio. So we'll get a good indication, I think, for two of the big contenders here, Kipyegon and Simpson, as to what sort of form they're in. So Tvedestup at the front, as expected. And as I said, she was looking for something around 63 seconds for the first 400 meters, and you can see she's gone through the first 300 fairly quick there, and the field well strung out.
Yeah, it is already. That means it's a very respectable race. We'll forget about the pacemaking at the moment. It looks as though they're dropping off the back of that. But Jenny Simpson, such an athlete, world champion in the 1500 meters, of course, back in 2011, and then in 2013 got another medal in the World Championships. She is a class act when it comes to the major championships, but Kipyegon, well, she's a current form, isn't she, coming off those World Championships, and has come off the country as well. She's always come off the base of a cross-country background, and that's seen her in very good form indeed. She loves Shanghai. She broke the junior Kenyan record here all those years ago. That was in 2012, so she enjoys it. And we'll just see now as the 800 meters mark, which will be the first of those marks that we'll see what sort of time they're doing. But they're looking for 2:07, but whether it happens or not, we'll wait and see.
Kipyegon just sitting back off the pace, but just wanting to move up a little bit closer there. Behind her, Sigai, Sayom, Sado, the Ethiopians. Jenny Simpson sitting a little further back at this point, just watching what's going on. And he was right up there. So Tvedestup about to take them through 800 meters. Pace has dropped as expected, but Kipyegon, I would think, on this third lap will probably just bring them back towards Tvedestup and then lead them through. Tvedestup, I wouldn't imagine, will be out there for much longer. She's been asked to get through to 1,000 meters, but that second lap was around 66 seconds. That often happens in the women's 1500. They go off quick, settle down, and then come back hard. Sado just going past Sigai. Sayom just moving up on the outside, but it's Kipyegon sitting there at the front. Jenny Simpson just aware of the gap that's beginning to be created there, has to try and close that.
Yeah, this is a significant part of the race for Jenny Simpson. There's a little bit, as you say, Steve, a gap of 3 or 4 meters, but certainly now Kipyegon has got the job of leading this field round. We're just outside, what, 2:08 at 800 meters, so it's respectable. But now look at this. It seems to me, with 1 lap to go, at 2:58 going through the bell, Kipyegon is leading off with a vengeance, and she's taken with her a group of, what, 6 athletes.
Helen Obiri trying to hang on to those 4. A Kenyan leading it, then there's 3 Ethiopians, and a 3-meter gap to Obiri, who's struggling there, 3:13. And now they really are kicking down the back straight. Jenny Simpson absolutely nowhere here. Kipyegon leading, Sado behind her, then Sayom, then Sigai. The 2 19-year-olds just sitting ready, waiting to pounce. Kipyegon, though, has just got a couple of meters lead. And it's Sigai, who's always the quicker finisher of the Ethiopians, who's trying to get up to her. But the Kenyan has got 5 meters now and is kicking away hard. This is really impressive from Kipyegon. 100 meters to go. And she is easily moving away from this field. They cannot touch her over the last 200 meters. Excellent sprinting here from Kipyegon. put huge amount of distance between herself and the others. Obiri coming through for second, 3:56.84. Obiri gets second. What a last lap there, a meeting record. Wow, it wasn't that quick through 800 metres. It wasn't that quick through 1200 metres. But that last 200, when we know that Sigai, Sayom, particularly Sayom, can kick pretty well, but Kipyegon's showing, I think here, that Hassan, who's got some injury problems, and certainly against Zebedee Barber, we're not even 100% sure what events she's going to be doing at the Olympic Games. Well, they've got somebody to contend with here. That was an excellent performance from Kipyegon.
Yeah, it was also a very strong finish from Helen Obiri of Kenya. She really charged down that home straight to get into second place, and 3:59.34, a season's best for her. Of course, it's early days, but sub-4, that's a pretty good run by her, and she was way down in the field behind Kipyegon. But Kipyegon, well, that was class, absolute class.
It's a new national record for Kenya, 3:56.82. Obiri dipping under 4 minutes. Good to see her getting back to form, and 1 or 2 personal bests all the way down behind her. Jenny Simpson only in 6th place, season's best, but a long way off the action at the front.
Well, Christabel Netty of Canada, this is her 3rd round throw, or jump rather. 6:72 in the first round, 6:65 in the second. The Canadian. And that jump, it's the white flag, 6:74. And that's second place. Let's have a look on the board. It was pretty good on the board. Fairly safe. Nice little hang technique. Nothing too complicated about that. Gets good extension to prevent all the rotations. Then gets the leg shoot out of it. And the 6:72 or 6:74. There it is. 2 good jumps. A season's best, as one would expect. Really got to go for this one. Yes. Big sigh of relief coming off there, and he allows himself a little bit of a smile as he walks away and shakes his head, putting himself under all sorts of pressure. 2:28, then it's taken him 2 attempts at the last 2 heights.
Next on the track, world silver medalist Justin Gatlin goes in the men's 100 metres. He's already said he's aiming for gold at the Rio Olympics. Can he put down an early season marker in Shanghai?
Well, the men out for the 100 metres now, and this should be a cracker too. Mo of China, Forte Jamaica, Gatlin USA, Ogunodi Qatar, Rogers USA, Collins and Kitson Nevis, Gittins Barbados, Young USA, and Shi of China. Justin Gatlin's got a bit of an ankle, we're told. How will he go? We'll soon find out. Rogers, World Championship silver medalist in the relay a couple of years ago, but the world champion in 2003. World Indoor silver medalist, of course, in 2010. He's got the reputation of the fast start, but then so has Gatlin as well. But he's said to have an ankle injury, which he says have interfered with his preparations for Rio, but we'll see.
Set.
Well, Gatlin certainly got away well. He did indeed, and he's leading this field at the moment. And outside him, Ogunodi's chasing him, but Gatlin's miles ahead. Ogunodi's going to take second place, and Rogers in third, and 9.94, and that's pretty well the time that he would expect. It's said that he's not as sharp as he has been, but on that injury front, that was a dominant piece of racing. He is difficult to beat. Only one man can do it, and he's not here at the moment.
Well, I think he'd be pleased to get the win. He said that, as you were saying, that he's not sure that he's missed a little bit of training because of his ankle problems, but I'm not sure when he's going to start running really fast. 9.94, certainly good enough tonight. Ogunodi not producing the sort of form that theoretically he's in. But he's, you know, as ever, Gatlin out well, opens up the gap. They did close on him a little bit, perhaps in the last 30 or 40. Maybe that's where he's missing a little bit.
Well, there it is. Justin Gatlin at 9.94, season's best. Femi Ogunodi in second, 10.07, and then Mike Rogers, 10.10 in third.
This is how the Diamond League points system works. There are 14 meetings in all, with 16 different track and field events for men and women across the season. Every event, be it sprint hurdles or shot put, has its own competition with 7 rounds. The winner of each round gets 10 points, second place gets 6 points, third 4 points, down to 1 point for sixth. Double points are up for grabs in the season finales in Zurich and Brussels. Come September, each overall Diamond League race winner will take home $40,000 and a sparkling diamond trophy.
Well, this is Gianna Bartoletti, and in the 5th round, 6.75 with that jump. Bartoletta, when you look at what she did, she's twice world champion in the long jump last year in 2015, but also back in 2005 as well. Lovely, lovely lift. Once again, the simplicity of that hang in the centre, but getting her in a position to extend and to perform 6.75. That's the Canadian Nettie. Christabel. Very quick on the runway. That's just short of the lead at the moment, isn't it? Just short. This is the 5th round. Hits the board well. Very quick. Pan American Games winner last year, World Championship finalist as well. She's been around for a little while. Not particularly big, but very, very quick on the runway. And that's 6.75, and that's second place for her.
Well, the world indoor bronze medalist Lorraine Ugen had a difficult night tonight. The Blackheath and Bromley Harrier could only finish in 5th place. Ugen's best performance came in the 3rd round, 6.55, not good enough to get her another 3 jumps in the competition.
Well, there you've got the final result. Ivana Spanovic, in fact, won the event with that 6.95, a meeting record, then Nettie, then Bartoletta, the world champion, having to settle for 3rd place.
The women's 400 metres then lines up like this. No athlete in lane 1. Athletes to watch out for: McPherson, Shawnee Miller and Sherika Jackson, perhaps the future of the event here, and Noveline Williams-Mills of Jamaica, lanes 5, 6, 7 and 8. But it's this young lady here, Shawnee Miller of the Bahamas, who's impressing everybody. World Championship silver medalist behind Alison Felix last year. Won a bronze at the indoors a couple of years ago, but really is, with Jackson, showing the potential that is around at the moment. She's just 21 years of age as well, Sherika Jackson. Shawnee Miller already in great form this year. Noveline Williams-Mills, good run from her in Kingston recently, but Miller already under 50 seconds at Nassau. Safely away. Miller starting very quickly, already taking a couple of metres out of Jackson outside her. Noveline Williams-Mills started fast as well, out in lane 8. And it's these two setting the pace. Jackson's finally starting to get moving. I said her early season form hasn't been quite as good. McPherson also going well in the middle lanes with Natasha Hastings. So Shawnee Miller setting the pace through that first 200. And now may well start to come under a little bit of pressure. Inside her, McPherson and Hastings starting to run her down. But it's still Shawnee Miller. Looks a little bit tight at this point as she overcooked it through that first 200 metres. So Shawnee Miller trying to hang on. McPherson coming through and Miller trying to strengthen this out now. Hastings finishing as well, but look at this. Miller now pulling away, striding away. Opens up a gap over the last 20. Miller takes it just outside 50 seconds. McPherson and Hastings for the lower places. Sherika Jackson, really disappointing performance from her. But Miller, that was hard tonight. Maybe went out a little bit hard there through that first 200. Really did attack it. And it's a bit breezy down that back straight. You judge it a little bit wrong. and she had to fight hard there. Looked as though she was going to come under some pressure at this point, Stuart, but she hung on.
Yes, she did, but you're right, that first 200 was very, very strong, and she really did look as though she was going to suffer when she approached 300, but she had a little bit left in the final stages, which was surprising in a way. Tall and elegant and powerful in the final stages there, ahead of Steph McPherson and Natasha Hastings, who was also finishing pretty quickly as well.
Well, good endurance there from Miller, holding her form very well. 50.45, she'll run much quicker. She already has this year. McPherson with the season's best. Hastings in third spot. Disappointing performances from some of the others.
The men's pole vault sees a clash between the world and Olympic champions. Sean Barber won gold in Beijing last summer as a world title yet again eluded Renaud Lavillenie. Lavillenie will be looking to retain his Olympic title in Rio this summer, but his younger rival will be hoping to build on that fantastic season of 2015.
This is Sean Barber, the world champion, having passed at 5:52 on his third attempt. Has to get over this to survive in the competition. No Lavillenie yet. He passed at the first two heights. And we haven't seen him at 5:62 either. But Barber, first attempt at this height. He has to get over it, though, because effectively it's his third attempt. Here he goes, and he makes it. Yes, this time Barber, well, dicing with real problems. And a sigh of relief. He's well clear, isn't he? He survives. We'll be seeing more of the world champion.
Pole vault is Lavillenie.
Well, said he was in a bit of bother. A little sigh of relief from the Frenchman. Great winter season, and he'll want to really set his outdoor season off well. He's had a couple of competitions, but once you're into the Diamond League, everybody starts thinking about 6 meters, of course. Well, he's a long way, looks like a long way from that tonight so far. And he looks a little bit disgruntled, Lavillenie, but he's over. Clear at 5:62, second attempt. This is Wang, third attempt at 2:31. The high jump really getting going now as well. We've seen his compatriot Zhang get the crowd moving, but we're up to the bigger heights. Oh, well, sadly for him, that's the end. Bar at 2:31, really starting to find people out now.
Zhang has now got third and final attempt at 2:31 now. He really can do this. He's had a 2:33 this season, as we've said. His best is 2:38, but can he do it in front of his home crowd? Oh, so close. So close. So he's gone as well. And it looks to me as though Bondarenko is in the driving seat in this competition.
He is, because he's the only one left now. So it's up to him how high he goes. His first time clearance is at 2:22.28. Doesn't even have to go any higher. Start list for the men's 800 meters. And as they go through there, Ferguson, Rotich, other names you'll pick out. Nick Simmons, first time we see him this year. Eric Sawinski, the American, ran so well at the World Indoors. But David Rudisha, one of the biggest names in world athletics. Great to see him here in Shanghai for the first time. First Diamond League appearance of 2016 for the Olympic world champion, world record holder as well. And Michael Rimmer from Great Britain on the inside, his first big 800 of the season. Well, Rudisha has been in Australia following the same pattern he has for the last 5 or 6 seasons. Ran well there in the 1:44, says, I'm looking for 1:43 tonight, maybe a meeting record. And he's just, well, he's been left at the start line, but more importantly, the pacemaker, Bram Som, might as well just stop running, because Bram Som and Rudisha didn't know the gun had gone. Som in particular, well, he's no way, look at him, he's no way he's going to catch up. He's about 30 meters behind, so he was asked to go through in 50 seconds. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Rudisha just glides up on the outside, and he's probably wondering where Som is. To be fair, he's probably the only one who realises Som didn't start. And look at Song racing around the outside to get to the front. He's going to run about 46 seconds for 400 meters here. That's impressive in itself, but what a farce.
Well, it was, wasn't it? And there were a couple of them didn't hear. Sawinski going well. Assom's back in the lead at last, and this is some challenge for him. He really has had to motor here with Rudisha. Looks so easy in comparison, doesn't he? At 52.68 for that first 400 meters, which is quite incredible. And Ed Sawinski tucks in second place behind the great man.
Rudisha then, this is a different type of race for him, and of course one which he's more than used to being able to control. So Rudisha, Kakemi moving up on the outside, Sawinski still sitting where he's been. Rotic blocked a little bit on the inside, all of them looking for room. Van Rensburg trying to look for room on the outside as well. But it's Kakemi, who did well at the World Indoor Championships, just trying to put Rudisha under a little bit of pressure here. Has the big man got the ability to kick away this early in the season in this type of race? He's got the lead. Kakemi trying to come then. He's got to watch out on the inside as well. The Biwak trying to get through. And the big man is going to be beaten here. Rotic has screamed through. David Rudisha beaten. A big shot here. David Rudisha. Rotic found a gap as Rudisha floundered. He was watching for people on the outside. And, well, Stuart, you have to be able to win these type of races. It was supposedly set up with a pacemaker. I can see him already complaining to race organisers down there, but that's not his fault, or not their fault. You still have to run the race. He's not happy, but that's like a championship race. That's a championship type of time. If you're in the heats or a semi-final, yes, not what he perhaps was thinking about coming into this race, but Rotic, well, he's always quick on the home straight, but I bet even he wasn't expecting to be able to sneak through and Rudisha be so poor in the home straight.
Yeah, but how did he moved out and allowed a gap to occur on the inside? There was, and he must have surely realised he was coming, and then, of course, you can't move across. But you're right about Kakemi. Kakemi was running very strongly indeed, but Rotic and Biwak, the two that ran past him, and, of course, Rudisha ended up, for me, in fourth place. We'll get confirmation of that in a moment. But third place, was it? Yes, I think so.
Rotic winning, Biwak coming second, and David Rudisha only third in that 800 metres. Bit of a messy race for many of them, including the Americans Sawinski and Simmons, and Michael Rimmer well down as well. The man who's already won the high jump competition, Bondarenko, and said it would be really up to him. He decided to pass at 2:31. He didn't need to attempt that. This would be best in the world so far this year. Bondarenko, third attempt at 2:34. Well, he's entertained the crowd. Probably they would have loved to have seen the champion give him a little bit more to think about tonight. But Bondarenko, well, he's only had 5 jumps, 2 first-time clearances, and then he comes in at 2:34 and doesn't go clear.
How things have changed. Barshim is off form. Bondarenko's been injured. He's coming back into the scene. No one is really getting up to the great heights yet, but it is early. Have to say that. But Barshim is really in trouble. There's the result. 2:28. Zhang, 2:28. Wang, 2:28. All decided on countback. Well, Gao, his second jump, has already gone, as you can see for yourselves there, 8:05, the season's best. So, what can he do, Gao? Oh, yes. Well, that's certainly the lead by the look of it. It's certainly extended it. It's beyond that 8-metre line, and he's 8:05. Let's have a look at the board. Oh, perfect. Absolutely spot on the board. Good position, gets good lift, a nice little 2.5 hitch kick. 1, 2... In fact, it's a 1.5 hitch kick. My mistake.
What do you call that at the end? Because his leg shoot is terrible.
Well,
it was the same, and he said that himself. He's talked about he's got to improve his technique. Even if you make the World Championship final, he jumped 8:30 odd last year. He's got ability, hasn't he?
The 3,000-metre steeplechase for women. There it is. The first page will not show those that may well prevail here. Karui, Nyambura, Ayelo, Asefa and Kiyeng, the principals in this race. Bura has been very useful. World Championship final. She was 7th in Beijing last year. 9:26 a time there. Yelu. And then Asefa, Olympic Games silver medalist in London. We saw her there and well, but then the world champion is Havin Kiyeng of Kenya, there, diminutive figure. And let's see what sort of race we can get here. They were saying that they wanted to get somewhere near 9:15 on this, which would mean they'd be running thousands in, what, 3:05s. And the two pacemakers, or Tuiagong, has gone out in front and looks as though they mean business and they're following on. And that's a good sign indeed. The field already beginning to spread out, isn't it, in this early stages of a steeplechase that really, Steve, is a wide open event in the World Championships, or rather the Olympic Games coming up. It's there have been several champions over the years. Hiang won the World Championship, and then Chemos, the world champs in 2013. It's been a very, very up and down for the steeplechasers to prevail in the major championships.
It has, but I think certainly the person who won the World Championships who's here tonight, Kiveng, he was just tucked in there, not really that interested in the early pace, but she is a very good athlete and is quick as well and can attack. You saw what Haribi did last year, and she went in there probably as the favourite. You had the likes of Emma Coburn, who won in Shanghai a couple of years ago, had come to the fore, but you're right, an open-looking event, but for me, she's got the right attributes. You need to be able to attack on the last lap, and she was able to do that last year. Didn't win by very much, of course, the World Championship. It was a great race in the end. Brigitte Krauser of Germany coming through for a bronze medal, which was a big surprise.
We've got a faller, and it was the lead runner there, and she's gone. Now, who was that? She was in second place at the moment. She's gone, and absolutely before that barrier. And, of course, it leaves in the lead, it leaves Zhang of China, the 22-year-old, the Asian Championship bronze medalist last year. So that was a pretty heavy fall. Back to Kendricks in the vault. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think he's happy with that. Just looking at the 570 attempt and 570 success there. He's had successes all the way down from 540, 552, 562, now at 570, and that is an emphatic clearance. It really is. Well, he's in the lead at the moment, putting pressure on everyone. Very, very strong on the runway. The plant is emphatic, is accelerating into the plant and creating the energy within that pole to deliver back to him at the top. And it's certainly Sean Barber, as a world champion, really had problems at 552. Took a real chance, didn't he, going to the next height? And then, let's see what he does at 570. Bit more attack in that. Oh, not as good as the previous vault, but he's got it. He's very tall. And really, when you look at him as an athlete, he's superbly equipped for this event. I wonder what Lavillenie will have to do about this, because he's got a little bit of a problem, isn't he? He's 570 as well.
Lavillenie at 570 first attempt. And that's more like it. He's looked really out of sorts so far this evening. And with the indoor form he's been, or had been showing, you thought it would start the outdoor season with a bit of a bang. Still looks a little bit not as smooth as we often see from the Frenchman, but a little fist pump there. Look to the stance, and yeah, that's a bit better. A little thumbs up. Well, with 2 laps to go, she keeps this going. Even at a reasonable pace, she's set for a very quick time. Of course, only one woman has ever run under 9 minutes. That's Galkina, the Russian. Next best, you go back to 9.5, and then if you're in the 9.10 range, and she could still hit that, because despite the fact that she went so hard, is running very strongly still, and at the minute no signs of slowing that much. They're both slowing. Kiveng not making any progress in terms of closing that gap. You can see still, if anything, Jebet just starting to go away a little bit, despite that jumping technique rather than hurdling. And now the Kenyan starting to perhaps pick it up a little bit with 600 to go.
Yes, indeed, and as you say, there's Jebet has got a little bit of pressure coming, stuttered a little bit at that steeplechase. The world champion Following her, Qiang, what she got in the final stages. It's still not over yet, but if Qiang can find something off this barrier, then who knows? A little stutter, a little bit of ground lost once again. Much better from the world champion over the hurdle, but still 10, 12 metres between these two, and it's been a very, very good run indeed by the leader, that's for sure.
Still on for a pretty good time, but at every barrier now, it's like she's landing in mud, just about stopping. And the Kenyan, the world champion, closing with every single stride here. How can Jebet muster something over the last 300? She's got to be tired at this sort of pace. Both of them running pretty quick.
Just about 3/4 of a lap to go. Look at this, Qiang now closing down. The world champion has really got closer and closer, and a subtle increase of pace as they approach 200 metres to go. Now this barrier, Qiang will come off this better, I think. There, look at that, beautiful piece of hurdling, and she takes over with 200 metres to go. So, Qiang leads. In second place is the young woman who's led for most of this and set the tenor of the race, Jebet, in second place. The race way, way miles behind. But this is a fine run, and look at the clock. It's going to be very, very quick indeed. And they will see that clock, and Qiang, who, oh, and Jebet has fallen over. She's stumbled and fallen over with about 80 metres to go, but she's still going to hold second place. It's all happening here. And the time, 9:07.42. That is very, very quick indeed. Jebet in second place. Looks like Nyambura, who's going to hold on for third just. She might just hold on for third. I don't think she is, actually. She was taken on the line by a Sefa.
Well, that, if confirmed, Stuart, will be the 6th fastest of all time to meeting record. If wait for the official confirmation, because she's just 100th off the 5th fastest of all time. And you've got to feel a little bit sorry for Jebet. I'm not sure, she just seemed to catch the curb, partly because she was so tired. When you've gone out that hard, I said, when it comes back to bite you, this event, it really does. And she was so tired coming in the home straight. Once she's seen the world champion pull away, and she certainly lost 2 or 3 seconds herself. She finished almost 10 seconds behind the winner in the end. But you've got to hand it to this young lady. And I said, Stuart, at the beginning, when you watch her going over the barriers, that's what most of the Kenyans, the Ethiopians, don't do, can't do. And she has that ability to take the barrier in her stride, and that's what, even if it wasn't such a close race, that's what enables her to win. But you're right, people were falling and tripping. That was very early on. I just wonder whether we'll see what happened on the last lap as well.
I think you're right. I think she just hit the curb on the inside and just went down. She was so tired. Look at this for hurdling technique. Not bad. That's not bad, I tell you.
Well, at least it's a hurdling technique. It's not a kind of jumping in there. She was stepping on the curb. That's Jebet. It's just tiredness, Stu. When you're coming off the last bend, you know, your legs have gone a little bit, and you lose a little bit of concentration, step on the curb, it happens. I mean, hopefully she hasn't twisted an ankle or anything. She did finish okay, but how strong was Qiang, the world champion, looking very, very good.
There it is, a world lead of 9:7.42, and I tell you, that'll take some beating too, and a good run by Jebet at 9:15.98, and a Sefa fast finishing to get third. Now, the men's long jump.
Samai had the lead taken away from him pretty quickly, and we now, with just 4 men left, Zhao still leading with 8:14 from round 1. This is Samai. Well, that's close. That's very close. 5th round. Man who leads the world rankings, South African. Very good on the board again. And the Chinese athlete, Zhao Jinglong, because he's been leading, has passed so far in this final rounds 4 and 5. And that's one of the issues around having so few jumpers jumping at towards the end here. 8:14.
Sean Barber then, third and final. Well, he was going to have a third and final at 5:78, but he's had to pass and going at 5:83. This is the second time he's played the tactical game. This is his final vault if he doesn't get this, and he hasn't. The world champion has gone. He passed at 5:78, which meant that he only had 1 jump left at 5:83. He had to go higher if he was going to have any chance of winning the event, and that has not happened. He's nowhere near that. And so he's Going to be back down in third place at the moment, as you can see. Le Villeneuve then, second attempt at 5.83. He's got a couple of attempts left, passed at 5.78. Now, what can he do? A champion. It's pole 5 meters 20 pole he's on now. It used to be 5.10. It's changed. That was better on the plant. And yes, indeed, that's it. He goes right into the lead with that. Second time clearance at 5.83. He's seen the world champion go out with the best of 5.70. And that clearance, most emphatic. Just, well, he just clips it, doesn't it? But it's lucky it stays on. Very, very fast on the runway. Really attacks it. You've got to be positive. There can't be any question marks in the mind as you approach the plant, and then to deliver force into the pole. And then it all returns to you, and you work off the top. There it is, 5.83. He's taking the lead.
So Fabrice Lapierre, you can see a lot of when they do go through, they seem to the fourth round think, well, I'll sit this one out, why not? And then kind of reassess. Lapierre finds himself in fourth place. 8 meters 2 in round 3. Oh, that was good. Now, Lapierre might have done himself some good there. The Australian maybe saving his best for the right at the very end here. Good height, isn't he, off the board, and a good extension at the end, and that may well have stood him in good stead. Lapierre, silver medalist at the World Championships in Beijing last year. 8 meters 9, and that will move him into third spot behind Shanghai and Zhao. There is the confirmation of the long jump result. Zhao winning. Shanghai was, of course, who finished second. Lapierre in third place, moving into third in the final round.
Sam Kendricks then, once again in the pole vault. He's got it, third and final attempt at 5.83. He's back in business. Le Villeneuve clear, Kendricks clear, but on countback with 2 failures, Kendricks is in second place. Le Villeneuve got his on the second attempt. Almost clipped it. He did, but it stayed on, didn't it? Moved to the edge of that support, but stayed on. The women's 200 meters next on the track. And there's the lineup for you. Lin of China, Clawley Wilby of Jamaica, Townsend, America, McGrone, America, Campbell Brown, Jamaica, Ahore, Ivory Coast, Whitney, USA, Lalova, Bulgaria, and Wei of China. Ahore going well. A couple of World Championship silver medals, 200 and 100 back in 2013, Ahore. Watch out for her. But Veronica Campbell-Brown of Jamaica in very, very good form at the moment. 3 times the Olympic champion, 3 times a world champion. The most experienced in the field, that's absolutely clear.
Lane 4 from the United States of America, Candice McGraw.
No problem with the start. It's pretty even as they go into that bend, most certainly. And Ahore's gone very quickly indeed, and Campbell-Brown now putting some pressure on her. Ahore and Campbell-Brown, these two are right on the inside. McLaughlin Wilby of Jamaica going well. This is Ahore and Campbell-Brown. Ahore could well win this one. Ahore's got it. Campbell-Brown in second. Wilby, McLaughlin Wilby in third. And Ahore had a very good bench, he really did, and that was good to see at 22.72, not emphatically fast, and I'm just looking, it's plus 0.7 meters per second, but that was a pretty tough run, but a very fine bend indeed by Ahore.
Well, interesting race. Another disappointing performance for me for Kaylin Whitney, the 18-year-old who, you know, a lot of Americans think could be the future of their sprints, but she's a long way off this once more. Ahore and Campbell-Brown. She always gets a good start, Ahore. At this point, you think Campbell-Brown's going to go past, but no, Ahore just finds something a little bit extra over the last 20 meters, opens up another meter. Really good performance from her.
Ahore then 22.72, Veronica Campbell-Brown 22.82, McLaughlin Wilby 22.94 in third. Ivory Coast over 2 Jamaicans. Well, the javelin is now in progress, as you can see. Valdilege next to throw. Let's have a look and see what we've got so far. the Czech Republic. 800-gram javelin winging its way out to just shy of 85 meters. And we'll get confirmation of that moment. Leans back, hits that javelin hard with that arm, applies force over the biggest possible range. National champion a couple of seasons ago, got a best of 86.76. That was also in Kawasaki in Japan on the 8th of May. So he's come into here with a pretty good performance. They're throwing into the wind 84.77 in the second round, in second place.
So the pole vault, Sam Kendricks at 5.88. What can he do here? Third attempt. Kendricks into this night sky, and he goes clear. Well, well, well. Le Villani looked to be in the box seat here. Both of them had cleared 5.83. Kendricks took 3 attempts to clear that height, and now in his third attempt at 5.88, the American takes the advantage in the pole vault. And look at that, well clear. Real daylight there for the American. Would love outdoors to get closer to 6 meters, or certainly into the 590s to begin with, to go with what he's done indoors. But Kendricks there, look at what that means to him. Superb from the American.
Well, what a competition Abdurrahman had last year, 89 meters here in this javelin competition. But that is just around about 82.5, 83, I would think. And not finding the form that we've seen. He's been away for a long time, been out for a long time as Abdurrahman, World Championship silver medalist last year, though. He got 88.99 on that occasion, so this is the start of his new season. And his 81.51 is his season's best thus far, so I think that will extend beyond it, at least. But he's obviously frustrated there, not getting any real power into that throw. It's about rhythm, it's about timing, it's about exerting power. Look at that, 83.16 is in 4th place.
On the far side of the track, the men lining up for the 5,000 meters, 12.5 laps. We'll be looking out for an Ethiopian challenged amongst themselves, I think to some extent, with 1 or 2 Kenyans looking to get in the mix. The names in particular, Kajalcha and Kebriwet, the 2 young Ethiopians with such great ability. Kajalcha in particular, the world indoor champion. He's the one who most people are so excited about. Still 18 years of age. You can see there the meeting record, 13 minutes and 4 seconds, well within the ability of many of the men in this field. It's just a question of whether or not that's what they want to do tonight. And when you watch how championship races are run, you know, what Mo Farah does, they've got to find the people, the Ethiopians and the Kenyans indeed, and the Kenyans have tended to rely on these trusted guys like Longosiwa and Soy, who famously beat Mo a couple of years ago, Kajelcha, who gave Mo Farah a good run in Lausanne, but Kajelcha couldn't then produce the right sort of finish at the World Championships, although he did indoors. It was a great race indoors, over 3,000 meters, and showed that he does have pace. Well, I think we can see the answer already to the question about the pacemaking, with one exception. But let's ignore that. I'm really interested to see how Kajelcha performs here tonight, what sort of tactics he employs, and how he decides to try and win this. Learning to win, learning to kick, learning how to kick. I think it was a bit raw initially the first couple of times. He likes to get out in front at the right time and build it up.
If he can do this, well, it's 5.93. Disappointments in the past for Le Villani. Is the Olympic champion, a couple of times the world champion, bronze last year. Was very disappointed with that. What can he do? No, nowhere near. Got it all wrong on the plant. So he's beaten. And Sam Kendricks, what a scalp to take, to come here with a personal best, beat the #1 on performance in the world. The man has been way over 6 meters in competition, and that just tells the story. Look at that, 5.93. First attempt, 3rd overall, and Kendricks takes it on.
Confirmation then, 5.88, an outdoor personal best. He has vaulted higher, of course, indoors. Le Villani, 5.83 in second, and the world champion, Sean Barber, hanging on to 3rd place.
Roller in the javelin.
Well, the men's javelin competition, round one was where he really grabbed hold of it and hasn't let go since. Roller been dominant all the way through. Another good, solid performance from him. Won't improve his position, but nobody really coming that close. Vadlec, the Czech Republic man who's been in good form this year. 84.77 in round two, but that was it really. And again, moving into the last three rounds, the top four men not really producing much, not really changing the situation in the event at all. Vasily in third, Abdelrahman in fourth with the season's best as well. Not easiest of conditions, but Thomas Roller, there you can see his full series there. That first round throw, good enough for the win tonight.
But there it is, Roller at 85.71, Vadlec at 84.77, Vasily at 83.81 in third.
2 laps to go in the men's 5,000, and they're all gathering on the shoulder of Mbai. He's had a clip from Longasiwa behind him. Kajelcha in a good position there. Rops in a good position. Gebriwet really tucked on the inside. Cheptegei back involved as well. Look at them all sitting there waiting. Edris is in that pack. Merger is still in the pack. Soy just starting to struggle a little bit, but now another stretch. Mbai, the best known of these Ethiopians. He ran 13.17 last year in Belgium and is just, again trying to attack from the front. Kajelcha is looking good. Rop's looking good. Gebriwet just fighting for a bit of room. He needs to get out of where he is now with 600 to go.
Yeah, but look at the big man. How easy he looks, doesn't he? Kajelcha just sitting there, beautifully relaxed. Wonderful piece of controlled running at the moment. Gebriwet is grimacing a little bit right on the inside. Merger's on his right behind him. There's Edris. And of course Mbai, who's taking it on, as you say, but the tall, elegant figure of Kajelcha is now about 10 meters, 5-6 meters off the lead.
Well, this would be a surprise. Mbai kicking from the front where he's been for the last 3 or 4 laps. Longasiwa giving chase. Kajelcha moving with him. Edris trying to get up there. Cheptegei, the Ugandan, also in with a chance here with an opportunity. But Gebriwet absolutely nowhere. Nothing more in his legs. So now they're gathering down the back straight. That's Cheptegei moving up on the outside. Kajelcha, the world indoor champion. Has he got enough here? Longasiwa holding the curb, holding the tall Ethiopian off. And it's the Ugandan who's hit the front here. Cheptegei with a 2-meter lead. Longasiwa, now Edris coming. Edris attacking round the top bend with a real burst of speed. And it's Edris who hits the front. Longasiwa trying to get back to him. Cheptegei trying to chase as well, but it's going to be Ethiopia, not the one we would have expected. Edris has got enough time to wave to the crowd. It's close to 13 minutes, just inside. A 56 last lap, a meeting record. Well, no surprise in the nationality of the winner. However, in an Olympic year when they're all got to lay down a marker, where they're all going to be trying to make that team, it's Mukhtar Edris who's jumped to the top of the rankings as far as Ethiopia are concerned, and indeed the Diamond League. Gebriwet went first, along with others. Kajelcha on the last lap, completely blown away. Yeah,
it didn't look the same as I've seen him in the past. There was a lackluster in his running, and Edris really had lots and lots of power coming past Longasiwa. And Cheptegei wasn't finished, and Longasiwa found himself under pressure. But that was such a good race, such a good run indeed by Edris. Mukhtar Edris, World Championship finalist. He was 7th in 5,000 in Moscow in 13, but this is the start of a new year and a start that may see him putting pressure on for the rest of the season. That was a very, very good run indeed.
Big win for him, under 13 minutes as well, really good last kilometre, and a personal best for Cheptegei and Mbai as well, who for a long time was the one forcing the pace in the latter stages. But Kajelcha and Gebriwet really disappointing.
The men's high hurdles, 10 barriers at 3 feet 6, and what a field we've got. Zhang of China, Bascu, France, Merritt, USA, Parchment, Jamaica, McLeod, Jamaica, Ortega, Spain, Oliver, USA, Shi, China, and Richardson, USA. No problem with the start. Oh, and they were well, I was going to say, I hope they called them back. It was all over the place. The second gun was a bit late, and they're going to take some time to recover from that. and get themselves set up again. Now, I'm not sure what happened there, whether there was a false start or whether it was a faulty start. We'll soon find out.
Well, on our computer it's saying Ortega. Just have a little look whether Ortega, well, he was...
Can't tell from that. Oh, it's the red card. It did come up as less than 0.1, which is the deciding factor.
I mean, I get he's not happy, but you sometimes just have to accept that.
No. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. Oh, I say.
Merritt this time. You can see, well, you can't see from that. He's right over on the far side, or 3 in, sorry. That's not going to tell you.
No.
And
oh, it is.
Yep.
It's a red card. It is Aries Merritt has gone as well. So, another attempt at the men's 110 metres hurdles. Well, McLeod got away quickly, didn't he? He's already ahead of this field. He's absolutely flying if he can stay out of the way of the hurdles, and Parchment going strongly as well. And Bascu on the inside is running very strongly. Here comes Parchment, but look at that. McLeod's got it. Parchment in second. Bascu in third. 12.98. Well, I tell you, he promised it. And he said, if I can get out of the way of the hurdles, then sub-13 will happen. He's the only man in the history of the high hurdles event that has run sub-10 seconds and run sub-13 seconds. And I have to say that when you can run that quick over 100 metres, then you really do need to be classy at getting over these 3'6" barriers, because they come up so very, very fast. When I talked to Aries Merritt after his world record in 2011, he said it was scary, the last 3 hurdles. But here, the way he attacks the hurdles, beautiful trail leg, it's so quick. Parchment looked as though he was going to threaten here. But that's a good run by Bascu on the far side as well. It was very close for Bascu, though he may not have got that third place. I think there's a hold-up for the photograph. There was some opposition on the near side from Shi. And it may well be there, but let's have a look at the third place. But that's a beautiful, beautiful race. It could be Shi, actually, that got third. There he is, McLeod, 12.98. A very good world lead. Parchment, 13.12. 2 Jamaicans on the top of the tree. Shi did get third, 13.34.
Well, I guess it was a case of big shocks in Shanghai tonight. David Rudisha started his race poorly, and he never recovered. I think it'll probably be business as usual the next time we see him, but I'm not so sure about the Ethiopian star Kajelcha, who'll not exactly pose a threat to Mo Farah in Rio on the basis of tonight's performance. Le Villani came up short in the pole vault, but maybe we saved the best till the very end. Kiang was great in the steeplechase. Gatlin, of course, won the 100, but Omar McLeod, sub 13 seconds in the 110 hurdles. That was brilliant.
We've got plenty more athletics coming up on the BBC in the next week. On Friday, there's the Great Manchester City Games on BBC 2 at 6 o'clock, with the Great Manchester Run happening on the Sunday at 11, also on BBC 2. And later that day, we'll have highlights from the Diamond League meeting in Rabat on BBC 1, which is repeated next Monday at 1 o'clock on BBC 2. That's all from the Shanghai Diamond League. Join us next weekend. Bye-bye.